Hi guys, welcome back and thank you for entering my lady cave where we believe self-care is more. So today I wanted to come on here and just provide somebody with some words of encouragement. And so I believe if you want to move forward in life, sometimes we have to be picked up mentally so that we can be picked up physically. It's hard to move physically when you're not moving mentally. And so I believe words of encouragement sometimes can give us that pickup mentally so that we are able to move physically, if that makes any sense. So encouraging words to me is a really, really important aspect of life. And so I try to bring light and I try to encourage individuals so that they are able to think differently. They are able to move mentally so that they can get up and move physically. And so I just been thinking lately, and I've been doing a lot of thinking. There's a lot that's been going on in my life as well. And I sit and I think, there's a lot of people out here that says, chase your dreams, do what you're passionate about, accomplish your goals, and and those are all pick-me-ups. Those are all things that encourage you and are supposed to move you. However, I feel like we need to talk a little bit more about starting, because I feel like starting is the hardest part to doing anything. Getting started is the hardest part to doing anything. So talking about that first really helps our mental state of mind to be able to get a pick-me-up. If your mental state of mind doesn't have a pick-me-up, it's going to be very difficult for your physical body to do the things that you need it to do to be able to accomplish the things you would like to accomplish. So I want to talk a little bit about starting. It's not as easy as the people may make it seem. It's actually really hard, and I feel like it's one of the hardest things to do is to actually get started with whatever it is that you want to do. So my advice to you is to look at the things that you can do. There are going to be barriers, there are going to be challenges, there are going to be things that you come across that may try to deter you. There are going to be all these thoughts of you can't do it, you're not worthy, you don't have the information, you don't have the resources. There are going to be a lot of things that's going to try and get in the way of you accomplishing something great. And that's just what it is. And so that's the first step, is to fix your mind on the thought of it not being easy. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be hard. Life is hard. We just have to look at it that way. You know that saying, expect the worst and plan for the best. Like, in so many ways, I feel that that is a good saying, because if we are aware of what can be up against us, we can be better prepared for what's to come. And so preparing ourselves can be a lot of different things. But if you're in a mental state of mind of preparedness, it's going to be really hard to knock you off your path. And so when those times come where you have those challenges and those barriers, there's going to be something that you can go to that will reassure you that you're headed in the right direction and to keep walking. So my first tip for you to do is to already put yourself in that state of mind of it's going to be challenging. There are some things that are going to try to get in the way, whether it's people, whether it's resources, whether it's your mind telling you you can't do it, whether it's your mind having you feel defeated, whether it's fear, anxiety, whatever it is, it's going to be something that's going to try and deter you. There's going to be something that's going to try and hold you back. You have to fix your mind on what is it that I'm going to do to ensure that these things don't knock me off my path. I'm not saying that it's not going to hurt. I'm not saying that you won't feel anything. Endurance is good for you. How do you cope in those moments of endurance? What do you do? In my moments of endurance, I pray. I ask God to give me wisdom through the times that are difficult for me. And He does just that. So find something that you can do that helps you out in those times where it gets difficult, because it will. So that's the first advice, is to fix your mind that it's not going to be easy. There are going to be some things that are going to come against you. What are you going to do so that you can continue to walk that path? My second tip for you is to fix your mind on any barrier, anything that can try to stop you or deter you from starting. So when we think about our dreams, and when we start to look and really see where it is we can start and what we can do, those thoughts start to kick in of, how am I going to do this? Or how am I going to get the time to do this? Or when can this fit in? Or, I'm not going to be able to do this because of this. Or I need this, I need that. Fix your mind on the priorities of your life, and fix your mind on the things that's going to try to come against what it is you're trying to do. Okay, so let me give you a quick example. So if you have kids, and you want to go back to school, in your mind you're like, I'm going to need a babysitter. Who's going to watch my babies? If I do this night class, somebody's going to have to cook dinner and give them baths, get them ready for school. If I do a morning class, who's going to get them up for school in the morning? Who's going to put them on the bus? If I have so much homework, like who's going to watch them? If I have to go to school so many days out of the week, how am I going to work to be able to provide for them? These are all thoughts that come to mind, and they're natural, and they're you're supposed to think about these things because you're going to think about your priorities first. So just as an example, write these things down, the things that you think about that will hinder you from doing it. There's a lot of mothers out here that won't go to school and will sacrifice because their number one priority is going to be their baby, their family. And I don't knock anyone for doing that, because sometimes us mothers, we have to sacrifice and do what we have to do for our children. But we have to also remember that we have to be our best selves to be better for them. And so, considering yourself, considering your goals, considering your plans and your dreams, is a must, because we are setting an example for them. We do have to provide for them. We want them to be the best that they can be and provide an example and a reflection of that. And so we have to keep that in mind too. Yeah, I know mothers have a lot to do. Fathers as well. Not leaving you out. So fix your mind on the things that actually would deter you from doing it. Write it down. Okay? Write it down. Find you a piece of paper. Find you a notebook. Start writing stuff down. Write it down. And then you go through that list of those things to see if there's a way around it. Well, I have a family member that can watch them around this time, or I can place them in daycare around this time, or my husband's home around this time, my boyfriend, their father's doing this around this time, so maybe I can squeeze it in here. Or maybe I can maybe those options are not there for me. I don't have support. Maybe I can take online classes. Or maybe my university or my college has daycare there on campus that I can fit into my tuition What are your options? Write down those barriers that will hinder you from doing it, and then go down the line of each of those barriers and ask yourself, what are your options? What are your options? What do you have now? What can you do now? Okay? And if you follow these tips that I'm giving you, you've already started. That's your start right there. And I think we get so fixed on starting has to be big. No, start small. If you can't start big, start small. Either way, you started. Either way, you're that much closer to finishing. So if this is nothing and you started big and this is finished, you're closer to finishing, right? If this is nothing and you started little and this is finished, you're still closer to the finish line than you were when you haven't started. So either way, whether you start small or big, you've started. And that's just what it is. It's not a race. What God has for you is for you. It's going to always be there. So there's no race. Like, you don't have to race to get to some place. And then if you can't race, you just won't do it at all. No, we have to train ourselves mentally to know that it is a process. It is a process. We have to figure things out. We have to learn things. There are things that we're going to have to do that we fail at, and that's okay, because when you fail at something, you learn from it. How can you teach your kids something if there was not an experience to learn from? Whether you've seen it in family members or other people, whether you've learned it when you were little, whether you've experienced it yourself, it all comes from experience. So if you don't fail at something, or if someone does not fail at something, it's going to be hard for you to teach those things to your children. And so we have to teach them. That's our job. And so we can't be scared to fail. We should probably think about failing as a good thing, especially when you have children, because those experiences that you've endured are the experiences that really will help. Those are the experiences that really can give you the tools and the strategies to get your kids to where you want them to be, to help them and not hinder them or enable them. And so we can't be scared of failure. And I know it's easier said than done, because I'm one of the people that, I've been scared of failure. It can be scary, especially when you got a lot of things on the line. But we also have to look at it in a positive way. Of failure is actually one of the things that helps us get to the next level. That would be my second tip for you. And then my next tip would be to, what can you do now? So if you got those out the way, barriers, boom. Those thoughts, those fears, why are you fearing? What do you think is going to happen? I think this is going to, all those barriers, all those things that you think is going to happen, those thoughts, we getting those out of the way. We pushing those out of the way. We didn't already been there. We went down the line of what's possible and what's not possible for us. And now we know what we can do or what we don't do, what we can do or what we won't do. And so now you have options. So now your next tip or your next step is to weigh your options. What will be best for you? What choice will be best for you? What place will be best for you? And then you start going off of that. If there's something where you need to gain a little bit more knowledge, where are you going to get that knowledge from? Is it from a book? Is it from a video? Is it from a school? Like, what is it? Where are you going to get it from? Where's your source? Find where your sources are to get to where you need to be. Write those sources down. Once you find those sources and you know where they are, what do you need to get to these sources? That could be transportation. That could be a phone call. That can be a lot of things. What do you need to get to those sources? And give yourself more than one option. what do you need to get to those sources? And then get to those sources and start. Like, you've already started. You've already fixed your mind on those negative things that's going to try and come and hinder you. You've already fixed your mind on it being hard. You've already fixed your mind on how you can cope with the endurance of what it's going to cost you, or what it's going to allow you to experience and feel. You've already wrote those barriers down and went down the line and given yourself options. You've already done those things already. So now what do? You go ahead and you find those options. You find the source to those options, and then you start reaching out to those sources. You start doing those things. You start figuring out how to get to those sources. And then you just start fixing yourself on the do. Make a checklist. Like, I'm one of the people that if I don't make a checklist, if I don't write down what I need to do, it becomes really difficult for me, because I'm not seeing my results. I'm not seeing that I'm doing anything. And so my mind gets stuck on, I'm not doing enough, or I'm not doing anything at all, even though I probably did something. And so when I have a checklist and I'm able to go down and really write things down little by little, sometimes it's like the littlest things I will write down, like as easy as making a phone call. And when I do that, that's a check off my list. I did that. So it's like sometimes we have to make sure that we are reminding ourselves how hard we work and what we're doing to get to that next stage or that next level. So also knowing that you have started, like, you have to know that you have started and not say, well, I haven't done anything, so I'm just going to forget it. No, you have made some phone calls. You have done some research. You have fixed your mind on some things. You've made a list. That's starting. And so don't get stuck on, all that mess that comes with trying to pursue your goals and your dreams. Go ahead and fix your mind on actually starting. Because remember, if you don't start, you will never finish. And so I hope this helps somebody. I really, really, really hope that this is a pick-me-up for somebody. Really think about that. Sometimes we have to get our mental together in order to transfer that to our physical. And sometimes it's hard to mentally pick yourself up. And if you're not mentally picked up, it's really hard to physically pick yourself up. And I know especially for my parents, my mothers, mentally we have to take care of ourselves, because there are people that we have to take care of and nurture. There are things we have to do on a day-to-day basis throughout the day. And so it becomes really hard for us when we don't have that mental stability that we need. And so we have to really take care of ourselves mentally. And that's kind of what this channel and what my brand that I'm building is all about, is knowing that self-care is so much more than what people actually portray it to be. Taking a day off work, working out, eating healthy. Like, all those things are definitely important. But if we're not reaching into the things that we need to reach into, those things either is not going to work for us longevity, or we're not going to want to do those things. It's just like you have to care for your basic needs first before you can go and jump off to do something else. So it's like, yeah, those things are wonderful. They help us. They're good for us, and they're part of self-care. But we also have to look at self-care on a broader spectrum and look to see self-care is taking care of yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, in all aspects of life. So if we're not there mentally and we're trying to do some physical exercising, it's hard. First of all, it becomes too hard. It becomes burden. We don't want to do it anymore because we're not dealing with what we really need to be dealing with. And so that may help us in the meantime to blow some steam off, to get some things off our chest, to do whatever. But we still have to face those things that we deal with on a day-to-day basis. And so facing our problems and getting down into the root of where we need to be is very important. There's a lot of surface things that we're doing, and we got to get down to the root. And so that's what this is all about. That's what My Lady Cave is all about. My Lady Cave Boutique is just a place where mothers it's a safe place, a mother's safe place where they can come and hear, motivational and inspirational quotes, as well as, look through different styles, get some retail therapy, as we all say. I'm so guilty of retail therapy. A lot of the times when I struggle, I like to just go and have time to myself and shop, whether that is online or me going into the stores. But I'm building a brand that is surrounded by encouraging mothers, bringing to light what self-care needs to really be, and also, changing people's minds, being a part of changing people's minds, because it can be really hard for people. You just never know what's going on with individuals. You never know what's going on in people's minds. Sometimes people don't even know what they're going through. And so we just got to start being aware and alert of our bodies. We have to start being aware and alert of when it's time to have time to ourselves, when it's time to work on, different areas of our lives. And so that's what this is all about. So yes, you can come to My Lady Cave Boutique. You can shop. You can see new styles. It's colorful. I love colors. I feel like colors are really fun. It's a pick-me-up. And so, yes, you can come and you can shop and you can get discounts and, enjoy yourself. But it's also a place you can come to hear some positive things and see some positive things, read some positive things. And so that's what this is all about. And so I have a boutique that I started back in June this year. And then I have this YouTube channel that I started as well as some social media accounts that I have connected to my business that I use on a day-to-day basis to encourage women, to bring women lightness in the dark, because I know from personal experience that it gets hard in the dark, and if we don't realize that there is light in the dark, we'll stay in the dark. And so I'm here to bring light in the darkness. And so if you like this video, go ahead and put a thumbs up down below. My Lady Cave Boutique's link, if you'd like to check out our styles, if you'd like to check out our site and what we're all about, go ahead and click the link in the description. It says myladycaveboutique.com. We also have a Facebook and an Instagram page. The link is also down in the description. So if you'd like to follow us on both social media platforms, you can get motivational quotes and inspirational quotes day by day. You can also stay updated on our sales, new inventory, and just light. You can have access to some kind of light in life. We all need light. There's so much darkness out here. And so come on and enjoy, and some light, some positivity, some words of affirmation, words of encouragement. Come on over, join us. Go ahead and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Click the notification bell so that you are notified when I upload new videos. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. I hope this video encourages someone today. If it encourages one person, I'm doing my job. So go ahead and share this video on social media platforms. Go ahead and join the discussion down in the comment section. If you have questions for me, or if there's topics you'd like me to talk about or touch on, personal experience, story times. If you'd like me also to upload videos on how to build or how to start a boutique, go ahead and put that down in the comment box below. I can definitely start uploading videos on that as well. Also, Black Friday is coming up, you guys. So make sure when you go to My Lady K Boutique, you subscribe to our emailing list so that you can get up to date. You can stay up to date with all of our sales, new inventory coming in, some discount codes just for being a part of the family. We have some really cool things coming up, some really nice deals for Black Friday. So make sure you go ahead and follow our social media platforms on Instagram and Facebook so that you stay up to date with what's going on. Also, if you subscribe to our emailing list, you get a 10% discount code right away that you can use whenever you'd like. So yeah, go ahead and check that out. I hope you guys have a beautiful, blessed, and prosperous day. Peace.